Alright, welcome to Your In Depth. Today we're covering The Mandalorian, Chapter 10. As usual, we're just diving in, walking through, and breaking it down. As usual, also, I'm Jacob, and I'm here with Mike Rocephaly, and we actually have a guest today, Diaper Baby.
I said crotch guzzler.
Oh, I mean, whatever you want, I guess.
Or Kim Jong. Either of those.
Alright, whatever. I thought I'd do the stupid one for you, but no, we've got Evan and Charlie. So, yeah, do we have any Star Wars news for this time? I didn't find any. I don't really have any.
I don't have anything new.
Okay.
Nope.
I mean, there's a new episode for Bad Batch, but that's coming out every week, so that's just kind of like consistent.
We're not covering that right now. So anyway, though, so I guess just going into the episode, we cut in. There's a speeder going across the desert. I mean, it's picking up right where we left off on the last episode. And we see on the speeder, Mando's driving it. He's got Boba Fett's armor. We also see some bandits, or like, they're not guild members, are they? Or are they? What are they? Bandits or guild members
Watching
for this one? Up ahead, they start laying out a trap.
Oh, I think that's just simple bandits, because he's good with the guild now.
Oh, right. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it'll just be like bandits or raiders.
Right. So there's some bandits, and they're setting basically a tripwire trap for him to come across. As Mando approaches, they tighten that line, and Mando goes across it and crashes the speeder.
But now that I'm thinking about it, though, because since I do have the episode brought up, one of them said grab the child, so it might be bounty hunters, just not with like the guild that he was a part of.
Well,
because they specifically say get the child, so like...
Yeah, but later on, the one negotiates, it's like, oh, I want that higher value, that thing, and he gives Mando the child. So it's kind of like, maybe if they knew the heavy, kind of want for it from the Empire, or remnants or whatever, I think that they probably wouldn't be bargaining.
Yeah, so, I mean, I guess I could see it either way. They might just be bandits, they might be bounty hunters of some sorts, and the one maybe just... It's like, oh, I think that armor's probably more valuable. I can get more than just getting the reward from the Empire type thing, or the remnants of the Empire.
Maybe. I don't know.
So I can see it either way.
Yeah. But speeder explodes. The raiders start pursuing the child. Mando fights them off, and there's a stupid little Jawa type one that gets the child and holds him at gunpoint. Mando bargains with him and ends up giving him his jetpack, and then the guy leaves the child away, or there, and walks away. And as it's running away with that jetpack, Mando activates it, and it just flings the guy way up in the air, and then we just see him come back down and just pretty well falling to his presumed death.
Yeah, and I think even because the jetpack he's got his little wrist control.
Yeah, he's able
to
control it, so he's just all right.
But I think even if he didn't, I'm pretty sure the jetpack's just made out of Beskar as well.
Oh yeah.
So even if it wasn't, it would hit the ground and nothing would happen to it anyway.
Oh yeah, even if he wasn't piloting it back to him, yeah.
I'm sure he has zero worry about losing his jetpack in this situation.
Right. But as you just said, he's got it under remote control, and it returns to him, and then we get the title card.
Yep, and then it comes from the title card, and we just see Mando walking with all of his stuff now because he lost his speeder.
And he's still got that giant piece of crate dragon meat.
Yeah. This is my next meal.
Pretty much.
For a month.
Yeah, I was going to say for a month. That thing's huge. But he approaches a town and enters into a bar, and he finds Pell. She's in a bar, not the Grand Sandstand.
Do we have a Pell ad for this episode?
I didn't do one for this one, no.
Dang it.
I know. She's very, she's not stingy with her credits, but she only pays for certain ad slots. So, I didn't get to do any for this one. But he finds Pell, who's gambling with someone. She greets Mando with, "Oh, so you found a Mandalorian and you killed him," because he's got the armor. So she just kind of assumes that he killed who would have been Cobb Vanth.
So I paused it real quick because as he's walking in that bar you mentioned, I thought I saw a Wookiee in there. But it's not a Wookiee, from what I can tell. It's just some weird furry creature thing. I don't think that's a Wookiee.
Oh, yeah. I think that's just a crossover event with the
Looks mossy.
what's the Addams Family. There we go. I think it's just a crossover thing or whatever.
Yeah, that really threw me off. 'Cause I was like, wait, did I see what I think I just saw? I was really confused there for a second.
Yeah. What is it? So yeah, she says that.
And she's gambling with like a giant ant-looking creature.
Yeah,
thing.
and she introduces him in a little bit here, but he says that he killed Mando says he killed the crate dragon, and she's like, "Oh, is that all?" Kind of like, classic Fran. But he says it was his last chance at finding other Mandalorians. To which the praying mantis says something, and Fran then relays it, and she's like, "Well, you may be in luck. Dr. Mandible," which is apparently the thing's name, says that he has a contact that could put him into communication with another Mandalorian if he pays for the first round of their gambling, which ends up being 500 credits or something. It's a high-stakes game.
Yeah.
Then Pell just completely cleans house and wins.
It's like, pay up thorax.
Yeah. And Mando says something like, he's like, "I thought you said he was on a hot streak," and she's just kind of like, I don't know.
I was letting him win.
Yeah. Oh, she says, when he says that, she comments, I think, she goes, "Oh, quit your crying, you'll rust." But they tell Mando where to meet the contact. Pell asks about the dragon meat, which we then see as being cooked, as she likes it by like a droid's almost like a it's a rotisserie bot.
Well, and it looks like the way they're cooking it is using like one of those
engines.
Yeah,
an engine.
Like from the pod racer engines from like Phantom Menace. It looks like they're using one of those to cook the meat.
Yeah, which Charlie, you can't. I mean, are you able to kind of at least?
I
Do you
can
remember
see it.
where we're at least? Or
Yeah,
you just
I know this is the Frog Lady episode.
Yeah.
I don't remember a whole lot about it though.
Okay. Well, don't be afraid to speak up if you have some stupid comment or question. Because
I can say anything.
Well, I don't know about
Well, hold
anything.
on a second. Let's take a step back here for a minute. Like not anything.
Yeah. Well, anyway though, so yeah, they're cooking the meat on the ship engine, and Mando learns about the contact. Apparently, they want passage to the system and require no hyperdrive. Mando says that is what's keeping them safe, but it is only one sector over.
Yeah.
Pell says that they are in mitigating circumstances, and she vouches for this contact on her life. Pretty well right after that, the contact shows up.
And I don't think they ever really said why not using hyperspace was keeping them safe. At least not
Why
in
using
the episode.
hyperspace
Yeah.
has been?
But the main reason for it, for those that don't know, I guess, is when going through hyperspace, obviously you would only see other ships and whatnot that are literally right there with you. But like when you're not using hyperspace, at least in Star Wars out in Space One, there's a lot of raiders and like bandits and stuff that attack ships if they're not using hyperspace. And especially now with the Empire collapsing and whatnot, granted the order and law that they had throughout the galaxy was like a tyrannical reign, but like it was still like order and law, and like criminals were punished.
Mm-hmm.
And so now without that, at least here in the Outer Rim, like bandits and whatnot are running rampant, and like not using hyperspace is just that much more dangerous.
But anyway, yeah, she vouches for the contact on her life. The contact then shows up and immediately starts telling us about how you can save 15% or more on speeder insurance. But the subtitles refer to the contact as Frog Lady, and she is speaking frog. That was just kind of funny. But she has eggs that she's traveling with, and apparently she needs them fertilized by the equinox, otherwise her line will die. Hyperdrive will kill those eggs, and her husband has settled elsewhere. That was a specific location. It's their destination.
And
which Fran is paraphrasing.
They never really. I don't think they ever really said why hyperdrive would kill the eggs. I don't think we ever get an answer.
Jostling around. I mean, you shake a baby, it's going to have some brain damage.
I don't know.
Maybe.
But I don't really think it ever says specifically why, though.
Also, Charlie, Fran is Pell because her frizzy hair and perm make her look like a Fran to me. So we just refer to her as Fran. And then last episode we had a sponsor where we talked about some different locations.
Quote unquote sponsor.
Yeah, some different locations that she has opened up. I just made some fake ads. But,
Gotcha.
I mean, they're totally real. Fran, keep sponsoring us. But the lady's husband apparently has seen Mandalorians. Like I said, she's got some eggs, and the child is eyeing those down.
Ocha.
Yeah. But Mando says, "Do you know the husband?" And Pell replies, "I've never met him. I only met her 10 minutes before you." And he just goes, "I thought you vouched for her on your life." She just responds with, I'm an excellent judge of character." It's kind of like, eh.
Yeah.
But we cut ahead. Mando's flying through space. He tells the frog lady to stay strapped in. And there's a language barrier here. He doesn't speak Gecko, and she's not. I mean, she doesn't speak English.
Well, I mean, we get a little bit of like a half explanation for the whole hyperspace thing, and it's basically like bandits and warlords are running rampant, and he says someone will either end up with a nice chunk of change or your ship.
Oh yeah, he's explaining it, but she doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Or well,
I think
she might know, but
I think
she can't.
she understands him, but he can't understand her at all.
Right. And actually, yeah, later on we see a little more.
Yeah, and he even asks like if she speaks Huttish, and like no reply.
Huttese,
like,
yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah,
but like he's trying to like close that language gap there, and like it's not working at all.
No. But he tells her to stay strapped in. There's a language barrier. The child pops out and eyes down those eggs some more, and then approaches them because he's in back. He's in back there in the cockpit. He stares at them before checking this. He like literally checks to see if anybody's around, and then it almost looks like he toys with them with the Force. Like kind of brings them closer and like messes with them. But then we cut back to the cockpit.
Yeah.
Mando, go ahead.
I mean, from what we've seen with the child, like he will eat just about anything he can fit in his mouth.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's straight up eating. Oh my goodness! Remember in the first season when he ate that frog?
Yeah.
Do you think that was one of those like a fetus? Do you think he's just popping preemies?
Baby killer, child eater, devourer of our sons.
I'm sorry, I caught myself a little off guard with the poppin' preemies comment.
The child and his race are the downfall of the frog people.
Yeah. But anyway, cut back to the cockpit. Mando sets navigation, tells the frog to get some rest, and then comes downstairs to find the child out of his chamber and eating the eggs. He scolds him and then puts him to bed. And then he goes to bed as well.
Ow.
Take it. Mando crawls in and gets some sleep. He wakes up to alarms going off, and Mando runs up to receive a message. Wait. Oh yeah, no, this is the same episode. I'm dumb. 2 X-wings roll in and tell him that he is required to run a beacon. His ship is old enough it doesn't have one, but they say that they require it. He thanks them for letting him know and says he'll get right on it. But then they say not a problem, drive or safe travels. And then he awkwardly is just like, "May the Force be with you."
Yeah.
And they reply,
like also with you, you know.
Yeah. Then they say, "Oh, just one more thing," and they ask him to send them a ping, as they're out on the lookout for Imperial holdouts. He says he'll let them know if he sees any, but they still require that ping. Mando says he doesn't know if he has that hardware online. They say they can wait. Mando is just kind of BSing his way through this. He's like, "Oh, it's not working."
Yeah, he's totally just trying to and I don't even know really what they mean by ping, honestly.
Yeah, I just kind of assumed it was like send out a signal, like kind of maybe a diagnostic, kind of like, "Oh, this is my ship," kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they mean.
Or maybe
by
my
that.
chain code. I don't know.
Was like an ID thing required in that, or
That's what I was like halfway
Yeah.
thinking. It was like a
But
identification.
as far
number
as
or
I'm
something.
aware, though, the whole ID thing is like the whole chain codes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Like a little chip in like in
Uh-huh.
your wrist that basically tracks your entire
Uh-huh.
life, that type of thing. And so
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what they mean with the whole ping thing. Maybe it's something specific for the ship itself.
I don't know, but yeah, and then they basically say that if he can't get it working, he will need to follow them. One of the rebels then asks Carson, which is one of the the two rebels, or are they rebels or are they like New Republic, whatever? They're dressed like rebels.
Yeah.
well,
so
isn't that the same thing?
Well, I don't know.
essentially, the rebellion after the Empire fell turned into the New Republic.
That's what I
Right.
kind of thought. So really, they're
Yeah.
interchangeable,
Yeah, and
but
so
they're
like,
not entirely accurate if I were to say rebel.
so like
because-
at this point, right?
Mhm.
The rebellion has turned into the New Republic, and so like Leia is like basically a politician in the New Republic, kind of like Padme was
Mm-hmm.
and whatnot. And obviously, once you get to the sequel trilogy, they have their own thing, and she's no longer there because some certain stuff happens.
Yeah.
But at this point, the rebellion, the New Republic is essentially the same thing,
Okay.
except the New Republic just has more backing and is more organized.
Okay.
Is really what it is.
Uh,
And they don't have as much. They have influence on the inner rim instead of the outer rim. Like the rebels had influence in the outer rim because those were the planets that were suffering the most under the Empire. Whereas the New Republic is pretty well restricted to the inner rim right now. They just don't have like the forces to patrol the whole galaxy and all that kind of stuff. So like even with these X-wings being this far out, it's kind of like they're the forward most position and they're like the scouts basically.
Mhm.
Gotcha. But anyway, one of them's name is Carson. You learn that through the subtitles, or maybe he asks him. Maybe he's like, "Hey, Carson." I don't know, but he asks him. One of the ships asks the other ship, which is Carson, to switch to channel 2,
Yeah.
saying something Mando can't hear because they switch channels. Then
Well-
they deploy their wings, kind of like getting ready for.
Yeah, they move
know?
into a like attack position.
Yeah.
But the one that does call over to the other to switch channels, he does call Carson by name.
Okay,
So
he does.
that's
okay,
where we
then.
get Carson's name. It does say the
Yeah.
other pilot's name is Wolf,
Right.
but I don't think they ever actually mention the other
No.
pilot's name dialogue-wise. We just see it in the subtitles.
But anyway, they deploy their wings, and then they radio back to him, and they say, "Was your craft in the proximity of the New Republic Correctional Transport Bothan 5?" Cut back to, it was
I think it
Chapter 5?
Chapter 5, I think.
But where they broke out, prisoner, broke out the prisoner.
and the whole thing with
yeah.
the New Republic pilot that got killed.
Right.
All of that.
But Mando just makes a run for it. He just bolts off, starts flying around. They start chasing him. The frog lady just completely freaks out that she's like screaming. But we see the New Republic pilots now. One of them's name is Trapper Wolf, and the other is Captain Carson Teva. Now, did you notice who is playing Trapper Wolf?
I didn't.
It's Dave Filoni.
Is it really?
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah, he's
Let's back it up real quick.
Yeah, take a look. He was also in that that Chapter 5. I didn't piece it together
Oh yeah, it is.
until now.
It's kind of hard to tell with the
The helmet.
the outfit
Yeah.
on.
Oh, that
not
is
the-
him. Yeah.
But
That's cool. I never noticed that before.
Yeah. Oh, I think it was Chapter 6, The Prisoner. But regardless, the Prisoner episode. But yeah, he made an appearance back and then. I didn't realize. But when they were closing in on that space station, they deliver that tailhead to. He was one of those pilots as well that started shooting at it. And I didn't really notice that until now. But because I looked it up, I'm like, is that him? And then it says he's made an appearance in Chapter 6 as well. And I was like, oh. But they have a chase amongst the clouds of this planet, which is Maldo Kreese. The ice-covered planet that we saw Mando capture that blue guy back in Chapter 1. And then he struggled with that Ravanac.
Mm-hmm.
That was the same planet.
Same planet, really.
At least according to Wikipedia, which I absolutely love the name of still. But because I that kind of dove into that when I was like looking into Dave being in it. But
Yeah, they've got their chase going on,
Mhm.
and the pilots the New Republic pilots tell them to like stand down, stop, like otherwise we're gonna shoot you down. Like
Yeah.
we're gonna open fire if you don't stop.
right, and stupid Twitter. Wolf and Carson comment that Mando's old ship will fall apart in the atmosphere. Mando then he shuts off his engines and falls for a bit. The frog lady poos herself. She's screaming her head off. They're falling.
Does she really herself?
I don't know.
It wouldn't surprise me.
I don't.
No.
I mean, just judging by her reaction, like you can't tell me that the back, like the wall behind her, isn't just coated. But
Yeah, she's like falling out of her chair and everything. Like
yeah, she's
freaking out.
She's screaming. Yeah. But anyway, he turns on his engines and flies towards an icy canyon, and the New Republic pilots are tracking him. Mando crashes into a wall, and Tokyo drifts into a cave. Then goes like to start things back up, but then he breaks through some ice, falling down and burying basically the Razor Crest. They awaken a little bit after the crash, and Mando looks around. Gecko Lady is cold and shivering. Mando goes in back to find the eggs. There's a hole in the side of his ship. Like, it's taken some damage. Obviously compromised the just airtightness of it. But the child and eggs aren't around. Mando says, damn it, and searches around. The child is eating more of the eggs.
Of course, because why wouldn't he be?
Right, yeah. But he asks the child how many he ate, to which he burps in response. The child and Sherman are eating out of little tin cans in the next... or maybe it's like trays. But in the next scene...
Yeah, it's like little like square trays that they're eating out of.
Yeah. The frog keeps trying to speak to Mando, but he doesn't understand. So then they try to get some sleep, and the child cuddles up next to Mando, and, well, they try to get some sleep. The frog sees the old helmet of Zero back in, Chapter 6. The droid, wasn't his name Zero?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sees the head of that droid.
Is that the bounty hunter droid?
Yeah, the one that like
was,
piloted on that prison escape one. But we cut to the morning and we hear Zero's voice. Its name's Zero, right?
I'm pretty sure.
I keep questioning that because I don't want to be wrong. Because this one I didn't check, but I was just going based off of what I remember.
Basically, the frog lady is using the droid head to
basically
like Google Translate.
Essentially, because he looked. I mean, that's what he wakes up to. It's that voice, and it's like, "Wake up, Mandalorian!" Which, by the way, he immediately draws his gun.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh crap, this thing's back!" And yeah, Mando startles awake and draws the gun at the negatively familiar voice. But yeah, the frog has hacked the droid's processing and used its vocabulator to speak to him. So no more language barrier. She can speak. But she says that this cannot wait till morning. She explains that her husband forged a way to the only planet habitable for their species. It is her duty to find him and fertilize these, as she won't make any more, and it's the last chance to avoid extinction. Mando says the deal's off. They'll be lucky if they even get off the planet alive. She says she thought honoring one's word was part of the Mandalorian's code, and he just kind of remains silent. Then she, a little sassy, but kind of right, she's like, well, I suppose those were just stories for children. Like, you're not following what I know of Mandalorians, so you're kind of,
Yeah, well, I mean, like, yeah, I think though too. Like, yeah, Mandalorians are all about like holding to their word and whatnot, but it's still to the point where like they can only do so much.
Well, right, and in this case, it's like, seriously, what are they gonna do?
Yeah.
I mean, how do they get off the planet? Like, she's kind of being a little unreasonable.
Well, and it's not just how do they get off the planet, but it's like once they get off the planet, there's a huge hole in the side of the ship.
But then, like, also, just, I mean, yeah, with that, it's like, there's only so much he can do. I guess he maybe is giving up a little too quick. Maybe she's commenting on that, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Either way, Mando looks around and sighs, and he kind of grumbles that this was not part of the deal as he walks around the ship and inspects it. It is torn up pretty bad. But Mando starts trying to fix a couple of things.
Well, 'cause there's like wires hanging down and whatnot for like the engines and stuff. Like, I don't think that little toolbox that he's carrying around is going to do the trick on this one.
No, probably not for this one. But he's fixing a couple of things, and the child is in the snow, like staring at him, kind of pointing, and then wanders off. Mando follows to find the child. Basically posing for an album cover. Like, if you pause the scene, it looks like it would be that. Like, he's just like I don't know how to exactly find the frame of it, but it's, yeah. Either way.
Well, because Mando sees footprints with
right, and he starts,
his fancy Mando helmet.
Right, and he starts, they start following them,
Yeah,
because it's
it's
from
like-
the frog lady. I mean,
I was gonna say, yeah, because it's like actual footprints too. It's not like some creature just kind of
Right.
wandering through.
but, yeah, they follow the trail going into a cave. They find a hot spring, and the frog lady is bathing in it with her eggs all around her in the hot spring. Mando sets the child right next to the eggs. And
Yeah, it's like, what did you expect, man? Like,
I
come
know.
on, you're basically giving him permission.
yeah,
at, this
at that point, yeah, but he doesn't eat any. They start picking up the eggs and putting them back into her like little carrier, and Mando scolds the child again as he tries to grab one.
Yeah.
The child then wanders over to some little pillar type things and tears one open and eating what was inside because those were eggs too. But then all the other eggs around him that he just ate one of start wiggling and hatching and emerging are little tiny spiders.
I just get the Alien versus Predator vibe here.
Mm-hmm.
For those that have seen those movies, when the eggs are open up and have like the face hugger things come crawling out, that's the vibe I get from this scene.
Also, second Harry Potter movie with all those spiders and stuff. That's what that reminded me of.
Yep.
They're all crawling on the walls and chasing them.
Oh yeah, I can definitely see that.
Yeah, but
My thing is though, like,
yeah.
the different stuff we see the child eat, it's just like, it's disgusting. Like,
Oh, he's a carnivore. He eats whatever he can. He's basically
Like-
a scavenger, to be 100%
Yeah, like-
honest.
doesn't attempt to like cook stuff or anything like that. Like, doesn't wait for like Mando to make him some food. He's like, eat.
Is that like the character's like one of his personality traits, or is it like the species?
I think it's probably the species.
I think,
but
yeah, I
don't
think
know.
it's the species.
So like Yoda did that too.
I would assume so when he was a little hooligan.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, I don't know if you really called the child a little hooligan. He is 50 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an old whippersnapper.
Yeah.
But anyway, so where was it? Oh, yeah, the spiders. The child starts running away from them as they hatch, and he's screaming. Mando picks up the child as the number of these spiders grow. He seals off the eggs that he was picking up, as far as like the frog lady's eggs. She flings her tongue at her robes and grabs them to get dressed really quick. And the number of these spiders were increasing by a ton, and there's some kind of a little bit bigger, but not as big as the just big hoss that ends up breaking through and coming.
So, this scene for me, or this whole episode for me, not a fan of this episode. I
No.
do not like spiders.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of
Like,
this
I
episode
will
either.
kill a spider. I will smack it and kill it with my hand, but I don't like spiders. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm not killing a spider when I see it, I have to at least be able to see it at all times. Otherwise, I kind of get a little anxious. Like, where'd that little go? Like,
Yeah.
what's going on here? Like,
Yeah, I'm not.
and so
I'm
this
not a huge
episode
fan
was.
of it at all.
I'm not a big fan of this episode with all of these.
Yeah. But they start taking off running, and this big spider's breaking apart walls, coming after them.
Well, and this big spider thing,
Yeah.
its mouth reminds me
it's-
of the mouth of the giant kraken from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah. It's
That's
got
what
a
it
lot
reminds me of.
It's
Yeah.
got a lot of teeth. It's not a spider, but it has the legs of a spider.
Features,
Resembling
yeah.
enough.
Very
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, like its mouth just reminds me of that giant kraken from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
All the different teeth opening up and whatnot. It's like, no.
Yeah, not a fan of that. But they're running. Sorry, I had to burp. Mando starts shooting some of them, and the frog lady starts hopping like a frog, and like using all fours to take off to pick up some speed. Mando throws some charges nearby, killing a couple of spiders, and he's trying to kill the big spider, and it almost appears that he does, but the small ones are like closing in.
Well, and these spider things are also like shooting webs like spiders do as well. You know, like they're basically just space spiders. That's what they are.
Yeah. But he fires up his flamethrower and scorches some of them. and they finally get back to the ship and get in. One shoots a web at Mando, sticking his hand to the wall, but he's able to break free and then enters into the cockpit. Before closing the door on, like, some are trying to come in, he's able to close it, but not, like, all the way because they're in the way. So they block it. Some crawl in, and one crawls onto the child, where the child starts freaking out.
Well, I just have to say, though, like, some of these little spider things, like, they're small, and, like, Mando's, like, just pinging them left and right, too. Like, got some accuracy. Like,
yeah, he's a...
Aimbot.
yeah, that's what the stuff in his helmet is.
Yeah, it's just
he's got one of those programs.
Position gun here, pull trigger. Position gun here, pull trigger. Position gun...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just imagine, like, he hears a little voice in his helmet as well, like, pull trigger.
All right, Evan.
Pull trigger.
Not everybody's like you, hearing little voices in there. So
No, it's a little voice in the helmet, not his head. Come on now.
you wear a helmet.
Where? I don't feel it.
Oh boy, you're delusional.
No, I mean, it wouldn't be the first time.
So some crawl onto the child, and he starts freaking out. But then one of the thing that's on his head gets shot. We see actually that the frog lady shot it, saving him.
What a hoss.
Yeah. But Mando then ends up scorching those that are blocking the door, and finally is able to close it. But they're
Honestly,
now trapped in the cockpit, and there's a bunch of spiders around them.
That one that was on the child's head, I was waiting for him to, like, get a hold of one of its legs and just start eating it when I first watched the episode. That's what I was waiting for.
Well, it's not that far-fetched. Like, it probably would happen. Anyway, Mando tries firing up the Razor Crest. He starts to take off, but then Big Chungus drops on them. He breaks he breaks the windshield and, like, looks in. Then starts, like, sucking on the windshield, revealing all of its teeth. And then...
Delicious.
Just Razor Crest lollipop, right? But,
How many licks does it take to get the center of the Razor Crest?
let's find out. But he breaks the windshield. And then... Doesn't he? No, he doesn't. Does he break the windshield?
Oh, but you know.
I thought he did. I don't see the note now, but I could have sworn he did. I don't think he does, actually.
No, it doesn't break it, but starts, like, running its mouth all over it in, like, disgusting style.
But then it starts taking some blaster fire, something shooting at it. Also, the frost that's on Mando's helmet at this point, I think it looks really cool.
Yeah. I think he should just paint his helmet with the frost style on it. That looks cool. Paint all of his armor that way.
I think so, yeah. That'd be really cool. But Mando emerges, and we see that those who saved him are Carson and Wolf.
Yeah, I mean, like, as he's emerging, though, like, he's still finding, like, his ship is covered in webs, too.
Oh, yeah.
On the inside and everything. Like, they're trying to full-on, like, assimilate it to their hive.
They were trying to make home in it and do what they need to. But he's shooting them. They're getting shot up. We see that it's Carson and Wolf, and they shoot off the rest of the spiders. They announce... We ran the tabs on the Razor Crest. You have an arrest warrant for the abduction of prisoner X6911. However, the onboard security records show that you apprehended 3 priority culprits from the wanted register. Security records also show that you put your life in harm's way to try and protect that of Lieutenant Davin, I think, which is the one that the disgusting Twi'lek lady, Cyan, threw a dagger at on that prisoner ship. Yeah. So they know that he tried to save them, or save that lieutenant, and because that guy was a lieutenant from the New Republic Correctional Corps. He asks, is this true? Mando says, am I under arrest? And then they reply, technically you should be, but these are trying times. Mando says, like, what say I forego the bounties on those 3 criminals and you help me fix my ship and leave. They say, what say you fix that transponder and we don't vaporize you next time.
Yeah.
And then they just leave.
They called it an antique, though, his ship. Like, and we've talked about before, like, the Razor Crest is an old ship, like, like, I would say, like, pre-Clone Wars.
Really?
Style ship. Yeah, it's an old one.
Do we ever see a Razor Crest in any throughout Star Wars?
I don't think so. I think the only time we actually see a Razor Crest style ship is actually in The Rise of Skywalker.
No.
when all those ships show up towards the end of it. If you really look, like at some of the background ships, I think you see one, and it's theorized that it's Mando and his ship showing up. Is what it's theorized as, but I think that's the only time you actually see it outside of Mandalorian.
Yeah. Okay. Well, they leave, and Mando says he can only pressurize the cockpit, and they can scrape by and get out of there to Trask, which is a neighboring moon. This is my next line. This is a moon consisting mostly of Mon Calamari and Corrin, which are also squid heads or Cthulhu faces. It's a black market port. But he welds together some parts of the ship, fixing the window a little bit, returns and fires it up. It very shakily takes off, smashing into things on its way out. He then leaves the planet with literally no stability. He then is going to take a nap. He tells the frog lady to wake him up if anyone's shooting at them, or if the door gets sucked off its rails. Then he says, I'm kidding, if that happened, we'd all be dead. Sweet dreams.
And it's funny though too when you see him leaving right there right before the credits. Like you can see the back hatch of his ship is stuck open.
Yeah.
The side door is stuck open. The hole is still in the side of the ship. Like
yeah, it's falling apart. And actually, the very last scene that we see, as Mando tries to sleep, the child is in his lap. He looks back at the frog lady with her eggs, then looks back, and then kind of like slips out of sight and just another egg. Little turd. But that's the end of that episode.
And this one was actually a little bit shorter.
That was
than
a shorter
the
episode.
Standard episode. Yeah, this one's roughly about 35 minutes long, whereas the other one's pushed closer to 40.
We're at literally about 37 minutes of recording. So we actually were right in line with stuff, which is kind of odd because usually we go here and there.
And I mean, typically with other episodes, though, there's more like small details that at least I like to go into, and then you comment on as well, whereas this one didn't really have that.
Right. Yeah, this one didn't have much, but...
closing
comments, peoples?
I think probably the least favorite in the season just because it's the least amount that happens in it.
That's true.
And I know people say world building, and that's important too, but I don't know. I wasn't really invested as I was with the other episodes.
That's true. Yeah, and I agree with that. But I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed it. So.
Yeah, I still enjoyed it too.
But it wasn't as, I don't know, yeah.
They just like introduced a new character and then kind of expect us to, I guess, care about whether the species, like this species we've never seen before.
Yeah.
Or maybe we have as a background character, but who cares?
I say if we did, I couldn't tell you what movie or TV show episode or anything like that it would be in.
Feels like a Wookiee character, then people would care.
Yeah. That's true. If it's one that you've seen before,
like
or
multiple times,
yeah. Well, I mean, even if it was like you said, like a Wookiee character, like another thing is that like one of the main characters in the original trilogy is a Wookiee character, which helps build that.
There's that
care for it,
tie to it, there's that connection that you can, feel.
Or if it was a Gungan, you would pray that it was extinct and they would fail the mission.
I hope he eats all of those eggs. Yeah.
Well, and sitting here thinking, like, the only scenes where I'm trying to think of where we might have maybe seen this species before is any scene on Tatooine.
Yeah.
And that's a maybe, just because that's where
all the
Frog Lady was at.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't recall seeing that before.
Yeah.
So I don't think it probably was, but...
And, like, for me, though, it's kind of like the whole Twi'leks, at least. Like, up until, the Clone Wars movie, or Attack of the Clones, we only kind of see Twi'leks as background... Not even really named characters, just background characters. And then it hits Attack of the Clones, and we do get... I don't even think we get introduced to Aayla Secura. It's just see her as a council member.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the first time you actually see one that has any sort of important role.
Yeah.
But
yeah, there's chapter 10. This is the probably the shortest episode we've ever had.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, I guess if we just sign off, goals.
Yeah, we have our goals. We say it at the end of every episode. Every 1,000 downloads, we do release a blooper reel. Do you know where we're at? Are we past the 1,000
we have not passed it. I want to say we're maybe 80 downloads away from it.
Yeah, I would assume after this episode releases,
Maybe.
Be close, if not just over.
It'll be getting closer. Yeah.
But then our other goal is, or I guess milestones are every 100 reviews on Apple Podcasts. We will do live stream coverage of whatever episode or TV or movie part we're on, where you guys can interact with us and ask questions and whatnot during the coverage. But like I always say, that's on you guys.
Yeah.
In terms of getting those reviews, so leave reviews, spread the word, let peeps know we're out here.
Yep. And if you want to see more content, get in touch with us or whatever, we've got the Your In Depth email, yourinDepth@gmail.com. We've got now an Instagram, a TikTok. We've got
the Discord,
as well as our YouTube channels, which will be linked in the description.
Yeah.
We have, I think, maybe 2 more episodes we're recording in person here and with our guest, Charlie. But, yeah, I guess in the next one where we cover the ending of Desolation of Smog. They can't see you doing that?
I know, but I do it every time.
Do you seriously?
Every single time. I'm sitting there in my room.
You do that?
We'll get towards the end of the episode, and I'm like, peace. And I do this every time.
You do the shaking of the peace sign.
Peace.
Okay, interesting. You're a loser.
I literally do it every time. And it's even worse when I'm sitting in my room and you're back at your place and we're doing Discord call because you can't even see me do it.
No.
Evan, get your hand out of your pants.
No.
All right, this is the ending. Bye. See you next one.
Deuces.